Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I've got my new mold out. I showed it to you yesterday. I told you I'd do it today, so I am holding up to my promises. This is a coffee cup or a tea cup coaster mold. I have this bright idea that I want to make a cup of coffee. I don't even drink coffee. I don't like coffee, but I thought this was going to be a cute idea for all the coffee lovers out there. I love the smell of coffee. Well, not regular coffee. I like the smell of like flavored coffee, but I can't stand the taste of it. Anyways, what I'm going to do, I've got some coffee beans in this cup here, and I think I'm going to put coffee beans in here and try to make some steam coming out with a little bit of ocean white pigment paste. And I didn't want everything just clear resin, so I took a little bit of mica powder and mixed two colors together. I took my wheat and I took my chocolate and I mixed them together to make this like lighter color. And I think I'm gonna paint the back of the coffee part this color. I'm not sure if it'll work, but then I want the top like clear so I can make the steam coming off. I don't know. In my head it works. On here, I don't know if it's gonna work. So I'm not sure. I've never used this mold yet. It's been sitting here for about a week waiting for me to do it. I'm finally getting to it. So I don't know how much it holds. I didn't put water in it. Be careful with your handmade resin or handmade silicone molds, because they are very fragile. Not fragile, but like you can mark them pretty easily. So just be careful with them if you get them. These are linked below if you want them. If you buy 2 or more, you'll save more money the more you buy. So if you want a set of 4, then you'll save 10% on them. And then if you want more, then you'll save more percent. I don't know. eBay will tell you all that stuff. So I'm going to mix up some resin and get these painted. Let's paint these first before I begin anything. I don't think I'm going to do the handle. I think I'm just going to do where the coffee mug, and I think I'll go to like here. So I'm not even sure how many coffee beans I need. Yeah, I'm just winging this. Hopefully I can get, and it's probably not even really should be a straight line. So let me fix that. And then I will just shake this out over the garbage to get all that extra powder out of here, so it's not floating around in the clear resin. Does that look like a coffee cup? This looks like coffee, like with a lot of cream in it. So if I was to have to drink coffee, I'd probably have to put a ton of cream, a ton of sugar just to get it down. I just don't like the bitterness of anything like that. So that's me. I know I'm like one of the very few who don't like coffee. I know. I'm just gonna go like right here. I thought about putting some of my gold leaf in to make this like a fancy cup of coffee. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Maybe in here, just a little tiny bit. I see, obviously, I made too much. So I will save this for something else. I'm just gonna make a little wavy here. And then once I have my resin mixed up, I'm gonna mix in my coffee beans and put the mixed coffee beans and resin into the vacuum chamber. Last time I used coffee beans, there were a lot of bubbles coming out of them because I didn't do anything to them except stick them in the resin. And all those little creases in your coffee beans are going to release bubbles. So I'm hoping doing it this way might actually help me out a little bit. I don't know. If you have a better way, I know people say like resin your beans, let them cure, and then use them in your resin, but you guys, my life does not work with that much pre-planning. It just doesn't. So that's not an option for me because I live like by the seat of my pants. So there's no pre-planning for my resin projects unless like it's a commission piece and it has to be perfect, and this is not. So I'm gonna see if this way works for me. Okay, enough babbling on. Let me get some resin mixed up and let's see if this works. just pour over the beans. I'm not going to put all of it in there and stir these around. Like I said, I don't know the best way to do this. I'll probably put more in than this though, because I got to be able to get the bubbles out of them. So I guess I do need it kind of swimming. I'm interested to see how it works in the vacuum chamber. I'm sure this is way more than I need. Okay, well, let's do that. And then, do I put my gold flake in is the question. No, I'm not gonna put it in yet. I could always add a little bit later. That's what I'll do. Let me get this in the vacuum chamber. Now would be a good day to have a pressure pot. I do not have a pressure pot. Pressure pots would squeeze your bubbles until they were gone. Vacuum chamber pulls them out. And here I'm just putting a little bit of tiny resin for the white before I forget. Hopefully I can make it look like steam coming off and not waves in an ocean. Just need a tiny little drip. And keep that set aside. I did pull out my pot of gold flakes just in case I want to add them. And I think what I'll do is first put down my coffee beans. I could always do this in a couple layers too, so it would cut down on your bubbles. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm winging it. I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm sure some of you probably have done this already, and maybe you have the best way to do it, and you can give me a comment in the comments so I know to try it next time I do it. So I'm trying to keep these flat because I want them underneath the lip of this so it's not sticking out. I'm just going to go over kind of like this and make sure nothing's too high. I'll do the same thing on this one. And I think I might just let it cure and do a top coat. I don't know. I'm wondering if, I don't think they'll float in the resin. I just think they're going to release their bubbles for quite a while. And the only reason I put the color behind there is because if you could see through them, I wanted it to look like coffee. I put way more in this one than I did that one. I better take some of these out. The actual mold itself is 6 millimeters deep, so make sure you get small coffee beans. Get that one out of there. I'm just running it across to see if anything's sticking up. That looks pretty good. So yeah, I have extra, but I'm going to fill this. And I'm just wondering, I'm thinking here what I'm going to do about filling it up, or I don't know. I'm still trying to make up my mind what I'm going to do here. If I do that, then I've got all this resin left over. What I think I'm going to do, I pulled out another coaster mold. I think I'm going to leave these and do another coat with the white. But to see if I was correct or not, I'm going to just do it in a random coaster mold. The same but different. I'm going to put all this at the bottom. Plus it'll give me a way to use up all this resin. Well, trying to keep it at the bottom. And then I'm going to pour the rest of the clear in right here. Whoops, let me get this stick out. And try to keep it separated. And I will put my little steam in this one and see if it actually worked or if I made the right decision on the other one. So this one, I put too much resin in because these, they are floating, you guys. These are a little too high. Let me get some of this out. Or I won't be able to put a top coat on there if I need to. I did not think coffee beans would float. I'm so glad I didn't do that in this one. Yeah, I need to pull some more out. That was definitely the right decision. Because I think what I'm going to end up with is a complete coffee bean coaster. And it won't look like a cup of coffee. So I don't even think I'm going to mess around with the white on this one because I don't think it's going to stay in place where I want it. So yeah, these are all floating. Let's just see though, just for giggles. Let me get these pieces out of bean, broken pieces. Let's just see what the white does in there. All I was gonna do is kind of like, I don't even know if I'm going to like it in the other one, so I might not even do it later. So we'll see what happens. A little bit of steam coming off. But when it cures, you know it moves, so I'm not sure I'm going to even like it. So I'm going to let that do its thing. This is a good experiment. I'm glad I did that. All right, well, you know what I might do, though? I'm going to put a little tiny bit, let me get these bits of coffee out of my resin. And I'm going to mix a little tiny bit of the pot of gold in here and let that cure right now. Grab a little cup. Just going to pour a little bit in, something to mix it in. Not a lot, just a few pieces. Because I like fancy. Even though I don't like fancy coffee. Oh, I don't want that much. Too much, too much. I just want a little bit down the handle and a little bit floating at the top. That's good. Perfect. A little more on the handle. Hopefully it'll stay put. Just going to mix it in here without trying to get bubbles. So far, I'm bubbleless. Get some of these gold flakes down in here. All right, well, let this cure. I need to find something for all this extra, and BRB. I poured my white in the cup and made it all white. I'm going to try to marble a couple bookmarks with my black pigment paste. So I'm just going to put like one drop of black in there. Give it a little swirl. See how it looks in these bookmarks. I got about an ounce left. Might look pretty good. I just wanted barely a hint. Still have some left. I'll put this in something else. So now you got the hang of that, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in something else. It's been an hour on the heat mat and they're ready for the next layer, so I mixed up some more resin. This is my 4-hour fast cure though. I'm just going to pour it on. I did mix up some more white, even though I'm not crazy about that the way I did it, because it dropped, so I put a whole lot less white pigment in this because some blobs did drop on that. So I'm going to concentrate on this one first because I'm not too worried about if that one works or not. So I'm just going to fill it up. Hopefully it covers all these beans. And then I'll worry about the white. Even if I came in a little later to put the white in, just so it doesn't move so much, that would probably work too. I might do that. Let me just slowly pour it. Hopefully, oh, that's my white stick. Don't want to put that in there. Just going to drizzle it on a little at a time till they're all covered. I really wanted to put a decal on these, but I'm afraid they're going to be like a little too thick if I do another top coat. So I have to see what they look like when they come out. That one bean, ooh, just barely underneath. Hopefully this way, doing it in 2 layers, alleviates any of these bubbles that'll come out of these coffee beans. Because they should all be full of resin by now. Cured resin, put it that way. Okay, well, there's a few bubbles in there. They're cured in there now. This one just barely is under. I have enough to do this one, so let's just do this one. If I can find a cute decal, I might still do it. I'm not sure. Well, they're all under. And they're domed. And let's see this one. Let me just spray them. This one can use just a drip in the handle. And I think what I'm going to do is just wait for a little bit, maybe 15 minutes, before I put my white in there. Alright, so I took black pigment, colored the rest of it. I filled this paw print. You probably can't see it. I filled the paw print, a couple starfish, a couple snowflakes, but I added in some of my baby blues glitter to most of it to see what it looks like in the black pigment. So those should be interesting. This is pretty thick, so I think I'm gonna go for it. Maybe I'll just do it kind of like wispy. Not too much, but enough that you could kind of see it. And I should probably maybe start a little lower because it's gonna travel, I think. Hopefully it doesn't sink. Should I try this one again? Is that enough? What do you think? I just hope it doesn't like disappear on me. Okay, let's let that cure and see what happens when we unmold them. If I still want decals, see if I could find one. You know, the whole deal while you're thinking about it. All right, be right back. The extras are done, so we'll go through those real quick before we finish up the coasters. So here's 2 bookmarks. I just put a sticker on each one, a tassel on each one, went over them with UV resin. Here's the backs, which are pretty too. Well, this one's much prettier, but those 2 are done. Here is the paw. This pink has been poured forever. I just took the black, put a ribbon on it so it could be a little ornament. And I top coated it with UV resin to make it all shiny because the black is not shiny and the mold is junk. So I have to fix it every time I make it. So here is the blue glitter in the black resin. So those came out super pretty. Put a charm on that one, made a keychain. This one's a magnet. Here is a pendant. That's all that was left of the white. This side is much prettier. I did coat both sides, but that side's prettier. And a few ornaments I made with the black and blue glitter. This one was in there already from another pour. I just demolded it today. So I put a couple rhinestones on all of them. So those are done. And then we have a keychain. This is the marbling, the black and white marbling, and the pendant. So those are top coated, back coated. This one's back coated. That one is too. I top coated and back coated both of them, put a little tassel on them, and those are finished. Now, for these, I cut out on the Cricut coffee first. Hopefully we could see it. I picked black. I'm gonna do this one first and see if we could see it. And then we have to top coat again. If I use them. If I don't use them, then I'm not going to worry about it, but hopefully we could see. I think I should have used gold. Yeah, it's not the best. I definitely think I should have used gold. So, or do I just say forget it, take it off and be done? Let me think about that. I started all over. I cut them out in gold. So this is gonna look much better. So I pulled it all off of this one and cleaned the top. So if this one doesn't look good, I'm done. I'm not doing it again. That took me a half an hour, so. Yeah, that's so much better. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. So now they're all gonna need top coated. Yeah, they're domed great. I don't know why I did that. So now they're gonna get domed again. Let me get that little piece off. So let's see what they look like here. I'm gonna put it in the cup. Cute. It was well worth it, I guess. And then I'm going to use my tabletop resin. I'm going to get them out of these molds, prop them up on a jar. Well, let's get them out and see what I do. This one has a lot of trimming to do around the edge. I over poured everything, so I want to get that done first. Here's the white on the back. So this one's just the clear one. It's not too bad. Actually, I think I might go around it with a paint pen so I could seal the paint pen in with the top coat. So I'm going to get this trimmed and see, these might need trim too. I'm not sure. Cute. Isn't that cute? I love it. Yeah, it needs trimmed a little bit. Here's the back. Came out good, and my steam looks like it's blowing in the breeze under your ceiling fan. Love it. Love it, love it. All right. That one came out good. Okay, let me get these all trimmed up, and I will get the paint pen out, and we will get the paint on there, and then I'll mix up some resin and come back. All right, I've got everything ready. So this is very labor intensive. I didn't realize this until just now. So what I did, I put tape all over the back in case it drips over the side because of these angles on the handle. I'm really worried, so that will protect the back side, and then we can get that off no problem. And then I went around with the gold pen, let that dry. I did sand down the surface around the decal. That will just help the resin hold on to it better. This tabletop resin is perfect for this job. It's super thick. It's made for this reason. You use it on tables. You would use it on like charcuterie boards, coating coasters like this. It's just gonna stay in place a lot easier. If it starts dripping, it'll stop dripping more quickly than any other of the resins. So keep that in mind. If you're top coating anything, you're going to want to use tabletop resin. It's very durable. This is what they use in restaurants when you have those tables that are very high gloss. That's what this is, and you know how much wear and tear those things get. So that's what I'm using this for, and especially with these angles on the coffee cup. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit at a time and spread it around evenly, and then I'm going to torch it to get the bubbles out, but don't torch too long because it will just get watery on you and then it's going to want to drip. This handle is very tricky. I don't know why I decided to put decals on, but now I know that it is quite a lot more work to put a decal on. So let me just, whoops, that's not even on the T there. Let me torch this real quick. And I do hand stir my tabletop because it's so thick. If you put a mixer to it, it is going to like have thousands of bubbles. All right, I'm just gonna let that rest while we do the rest, and then I'm gonna go back several times and torch these as if I was doing a charcuterie board. We do torch them a lot because the bubbles keep rising. And then I'm just going to let these cure overnight. And then we will do the final pictures. And we come to the end. Here is the last set of extras I had from the tabletop resin, because I mixed up too much. So a pendant, and I'm on these little kick for ornaments because it's such a cute little mold and they come out so pretty when you bling them up with rhinestones. And then I did have a little left, so I made a magnet with a medium-sized water ripple starfish. I am so happy that I top coated these. These came out so perfect. Like, the top coat is gorgeous. Everything is clear. There's no bubbles anywhere. Not even a piece of lint got in these. So I think I'm gonna go ahead, and I love this one too. It came out great. So I'm just gonna sell these as a set of 3. But all 3 came out stunning. I know in person is better, but it's unbelievable how nice these came out. So they didn't even drip any. I was able to tear the paper off without heating it up. There was not one single drip that went over the edge. That's why I love the tabletop resin. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'm gonna get you a ton of pictures, so I hope you stick around for those. If not, I will see you tomorrow. You guys all have a blessed day. Bye, everyone.